What's up YouTube? Today we're going to be doing a review on my RC drift car. So here we have the Sakura CS Sport all-wheel drive kit for a drift RC car. I mean, you build it yourself. It comes with all the pieces, all the bolts, everything. So I built this all from scratch. It was a pain in the ass. Took me like 2 weeks, couple hours a night, but it came out pretty damn good. So I'm running a Castle Creations motor on it. It's meant for a off-roading like RC truck. Probably wasn't the best idea. I just figured since it'd have more torque that it might be nice. I don't know if it was the best idea now, but when I bought this I thought, oh, maybe I could just convert it over to put some rubber wheels on it or something and be able to drive it, not drift. But now drifting it, probably not the best idea since it is belt driven. See, it's got a loose ass belt, probably because of the hella high torque in this engine. Then I used the Sidewinder 3 speed controller, which pairs up with this motor really nicely. And I got a battery that I used for my Traxxas Slash. It was an upgraded battery for the Slash. It made it faster or whatever. But it lasts forever with this car, like barely have to charge it. Then I just found a steering servo on Amazon. I don't even know what it's called. I just looked up steering servo. But then I used to have a Laytrax rally car, which I broke trying to do modifications to it. Whoops. But I used the receiver for it and the controller. So I just had the controller, so Laytrax by Traxxas, whatever. So I used the same speed control or the receiver from that car. Made this build a lot cheaper for me. I think it only costed like $250 for everything besides the receiver and the controller. And the battery, I had the battery, which batteries are kind of pricey too. I think that one was like 60 bucks brand new. But yeah, it's pretty nice. So here's the box it came in. It's pretty cool. It's kind of like, if you're into like Japanese cars, like that's what it reminds me of, because you get all your stuff is like in English and Japanese. So that was like, to make it an all-wheel drive, that's what this piece of paper was. Here's the Castle Creations paperwork stuff. A couple extra batteries. This one doesn't work in it because it has that weird cell on top. I thought these tires would work for it. This was before I knew I wouldn't be using it for other than a drift car. So those tires do not work. But it came with a lot of extra parts, so you could really customize it. Like these, it came with pliers and like a bunch of sort of tools and stuff, like stuff to take off the wheels, little hex bolts. The only thing you really need is a bunch of Allen keys, like a ton of them, little tiny ass ones, and a file. I needed to file down a lot of the parts to make them nice, because they come off stuff like this, and when you pull them off there, it leaves a little bit, so I filed everything down to make it super nice. Yeah, it's pretty fun. I'm really happy with it. I take it to like car shows and stuff, and people always love it. Try not to drive it on the asphalt though, it's pretty rough. But it's got all the pink decals. I think all of the models for the Sakura come with the pink color, and then for the shell I just bought one off of like a random RC website. So I believe it's a '68 RS Camaro. I decided to buy a completely done one instead of just trying to make one. It should be a pain in the ass. So yeah. So yeah, this RC car would definitely be for a person who loves cars and loves to build things, because it took me forever to do it, but now that it's done, I'm super happy with it. It pretty much just required screwing in a bunch of things and a little bit of soldering for the battery, but it's not too hard. So yeah, let's do some driving. So why I went with an all-wheel drive car is mainly because reading online, I found out that RC drift cars are better to be an all-wheel drive car because something to do with turning, if the front wheels are rotating from the motor, then turning is easier, I guess. Something like that. I'm not really too sure. I didn't really get that far into it. But that's why I went with the all-wheel drive instead of a rear-wheel drive, because in like real car life, you know, rear wheel is definitely the way to go always for drifting. So I don't know what is with small cars. What do you want, cat? Shh. And also the little pegs sticking up from the rear, you can cut those if you want. I just decided to leave them if I ever got a new shell that needs a taller one for who knows what. Just like a regular car, it's got super wide angle on the front wheels, like really wide. It's like wise fab status. It's really, honestly, it's really difficult to do. Like, I could barely do anything. Easiest thing to do is just donuts. That's it. But that's super difficult to do. I don't know how all these people do it on their tracks. I mean, I'm sure it's better in a completely flat area. I have all these cracks because I don't have any flat concrete pads with no cracks in it. I don't know. And I broke it again. Figured this would happen. I was having an issue with the wheel connection earlier. So one thing I didn't know when I was putting it together was that you were supposed to use some sort of Loctite plastic glue sort of deal on all the screws, and I didn't do that on a single one. So here's what will happen if you don't do that. See the screw came out from down there. There's a little connection part right underneath there. But yeah, I'm gonna have to actually Loctite this one, because being that most of it's some sort of plastic carbon sort of stuff. It's kind of like a carbon fiber type of material. I'm not really sure how to explain it, but it's like a plastic carbon material. So, yep, I'll have to fix that. Hope you guys enjoyed this video as much as I did. Sure do love this thing and get a lot of compliments about it when I take it places. It's just nice to know that you put the entire thing together and you could say, I built it from scratch. Even though it was a whole kit, still took me a couple weeks working around all my crazy schedule. And the one thing that's super nice about it too, I didn't mention, the shocks on it are oil filled. So are the differentials. You put oil in them, which it comes with. But that's really nice when you get to RC status, like oil filled stuff is badass. So yeah, broken. And here's how much the angle turns too. Quite a bit. Alright, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye YouTube.